The suspect went to a retailer.
It's almost like an open door policy.
Selected a gun.
The criminals walk right through.
Handled the gun.
William Price in the red hat went gun shopping at this Puyallup sporting goods store last year. A surveillance camera rolls as he fills out federal paperwork swearing that he's eligible to purchase a gun. Then he handles a handgun. All this, even though paperwork from a 5-year-old criminal case shows Price pointed a small handgun at the victim during a robbery and, as a felon, is now barred from owning firearms.
Completed the paperwork indicating that he could lawfully possess a firearm when in fact he couldn't.
Captain Ryan Portman of the Puyallup Police Department admits this case would have gone unnoticed, except he happened to see King 5 stories about the 4,000 or so prohibited buyers in Washington each year who do just what Price is doing here. They try to get a gun.
Myself, as well as several other people in the department, saw your story, and we began to question our own practice.
Captain Portman had to look only as far as his own records section.
So he needs to speak with the court.
His records officer is the one who actually conducts criminal background checks for all handguns purchased at Puyallup gun stores, including Price's background check, which he failed.
After seeing the story, I began to wonder if we could do more, and our agency began assigning the cases to detectives.
So instead of walking away from the gun counter with no consequences, Price was charged with false swearing for lying about his eligibility on the gun purchase form. After lawmakers passed House Bill 1501 last year, these types of prosecutions are becoming more common. The law tasks the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs with reviewing denied gun purchases and alerting police departments about the most serious cases. Last month, Kitsap County convicted Timothy Smith, taking aim on a rifle here because of his robbery conviction from Hawaii.
Mr. Smith entered a plea of guilty to 1 count of false swearing. He was sentenced by the court to 90 days incarceration, and he is serving that time right now on electronic home monitoring.
And Lacey police have just filed a charge against this man for a firearms transaction at a pawn shop. Daniel Aguirre, who has a previous theft conviction, pled not guilty to unlawful possession of a firearm.
Get your hands up! Get your hands up!
The man arrested and convicted in this 2014 road rage case tried to buy a gun a few years later.
Holds it up for half a second just to show, hey, it's a gun, before he points it at us.
His victim had no idea about that attempted purchase until King 5 told him.
Why does he need a firearm? He's obviously shown that he has no problem pulling it out on someone for something as little as a misunderstanding in an intersection.
Police say the new law has helped them sort through which cases they should pursue. But they've also noticed a problem. House Bill 1501 does not spell out specific charges for violators. And several police agencies have had a hard time bringing felony charges, even with someone like Price, who used a gun in his prior crime.
If a person has a violent history, I think that the punishment should fit, the crime if they're going to try to purchase a firearm.
Police and prosecutors told us that lawmakers should tinker with the language of that law to make felony charges if possible. House Bill 1501 also gives departments some money to pay for these investigations, and several police departments told us that that's why they haven't acted on some of these cases. They don't have the resources. So you do have to hand it to the Puyallup Police Department here, where they've kind of got this in their workflow, and there's 4 or 5 cases a month that they're investigating. So they're kind of ahead of everybody else here.
Right. Your story was saying that police are trying to pursue the serious cases. Wouldn't you say all these cases are serious violations?
They could be, but not necessarily. So some of them involve old convictions, and that person has lived a clean life for decades, let's say. And there's other cases that involve a court paperwork error. So there are some that the police are not going to pursue. Those cases where a violent crime was involved, or where the person goes to multiple gun stores trying to buy a gun, lie and try to buy, they call it. Those are the ones the police want to go after.